morning, Westeros!
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast. I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Kyle. And we're your Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners, and we got Brienne, VII on deck. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Conflicted. Kyle, thoughts?
What do you mean? It was a good one. This was like one of the best ones we've had in a while, I think.
Are we getting any more Briennes?
Yeah, I think you have to.
What do you mean? Not if
Why?
not if she's not alive.
Last chapter you were like, everybody can't live.
I guess so. I don't know. She didn't really die, though. She got, like, saved at the end, it felt like.
It's kind of like how, didn't somebody die and else? I can't remember, but...
I think this is very, very similar to Tyrion at the Blackwater, where like he had basically just got sliced in the face with a sword, and then
and his face went cold.
And then Pod stabbed whoever it was, right? I don't want to jump ahead, but is this Pod doing it the exact same thing again?
Good question. That was not at all what I thought. But
That's probably not the assumption, right? But yeah, that'd be cool.
Somebody needs to get in there and help.
We're jumping ahead. What's the synopsis? We're getting a little antsy. Kyle, what's the synopsis?
Kyle liked it. I thought it was a great chapter too.
Maybe the best of the entire book series so far?
Yeah, you got a little bit of everything.
Nelson's really trying to push you into saying that the Brienne chapter is your favorite.
No.
Just beware the trap he's setting. All right.
That's not quite what I'm doing. I do think this chapter makes some of the other more boring Brienne chapters pay off a little bit.
That's fair.
I think the walking through the woods part wasn't as bad as the other times, right? Like, at least there was some substance to it with the hanging men and whatnot. So I just think at each part of the chapter you're kind of thinking, and it's not just mundane words that you're reading. So, and then the ending's obviously fire. So yeah. Synopsis.
Yeah. So Brienne basically leaves the end of the Quiet Isle, or the end of the Quiet Isle, leaves the Quiet Isle and ends up at the inn of the Crossroads, which is an inn where basically everything just happens in this book. We'll talk about it a little more when we get there, but so much stuff happens here. On the way, they stop by Salt Pan. She thinks about that a little bit. There's a lot of hangmen on the way, and there's a big fight at the end with some people we've seen before. Kyle actually kind of had some of these on prediction. Another cool run-in we didn't really mention is Gendry is at this inn. So that's a cool, like we mentioned this before, like when Sam and Arya like bumped into each other, right? This is kind of like a similar thing. It's, again, kind of more, both of them feel like a level down, but yeah, cool run-in. So, synopsis, and then Brienne just being the most knightly non-knight in the book series. So we'll get to that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good one. It is a little hard, right? Like you said, a little conflicted because we don't really know the end of what happens, what her fate stands to be here. So hopefully we see more of her.
Yeah, to me it feels like the Sam chapter, where like great chapter, but also comes with a potential loss of at least definite changing, right? Like if she is alive, she's not going to be the same from it after it.
She's not going to be a face model.
Well, yeah, and I just thought about this too. That the question from last time is like, we are getting to the end.
So do we even know? Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Shit.
All right, so let's jump in. So we're coming up down the, I don't know if they're on a road yet or not, but they're walking through. They're on some kind of road. I don't know if it's King's Road, and bunch of bodies hanging, and it ends up being about every 100 yards. So there's another body, similar to something we've seen before right now, so I don't want to spoil it, but we've seen
hanged people all over the place. This did a little bit later. This reminds me of something. Do you have a character you want to say with somebody?
Yeah, but I don't want to spoil it if we didn't. Which
character? I don't think that's a spoiler.
Danny?
Yeah. I later there's a line that makes me think the exact same thing. We did see that already.
No, we already saw that.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like the kids coming into the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had crucified all these kids, and basically there's a line that in this chapter where Brienne's like, she made sure to look at every face in case any of them were people she knew. And she's like, some of them actually did seem familiar. Like they might have been people I knew, like brave companions from Harrenhal or whatever. But Dany thinks the same thing. She's like, basically, I think somebody was like, we'll take all these children down so you don't have to see it. And she's like, no, I will look on all their faces and remember. So that's the line that made me think, oh shit, this is like the Dany thing. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the same thing, Jeff. And I did have to check to see if that was a spoiler or not, because I think it is like one of the last Dany chapters we had, and it was like a year ago that we read it. So yeah, I was also wondering.
So animals had been getting to all these bodies, obviously crows at the eyes and face, and wolves at the legs, and they noticed that there's a block of salt in each of their mouth.
So the first body they mention, a few interesting things. It's only a mile, she says, from the inn. So all these bodies they see are like everything she talks about between like the start of the chapter and getting to the inn, which is a lot of bodies. It's all within a mile, right? She says like every 50 yards or 100 yards there's a body. That's like a lot of body. Like literally you'll be able to see the next one from the one you're at, right? It's like a horror movie, right? This isn't like, oh, we passed 5 bodies on the way here. This
corpses
is
everywhere.
Crazy talk. And also this one, the first one that's hung, interesting. It's hanging from a tree that's been struck by lightning, I think she says.
That is cool.
Yeah. The lightning
makes
lord.
you think a little bit. Yeah.
Cool, and I think it's definitely supposed to make you think of Beric, right? That's his sigil. They call him the lightning lord, exactly.
Well, and then they do talk about like this is their calling card almost for them to be hanging people.
Yeah, that's his execution of choice.
And it makes you think if Beric killed Dunk because of his sigil. So
what? Dunk's sigil was a tree. Oh, because he's a
lightning ball. Lightning ball.
Yeah, lightning ball hit tree. Bam. Gone.
Brienne does mention that one of these guys is hanging from an elm tree. That's Dunk's tree.
Yeah.
So
a Dundarian kills Dunk in the future.
The thing that you were getting to, Jeff, was that they have salt in their mouths, or one of you guys. Was saying this.
Yeah. I did, and it makes it. They put it together that it's the raiders, the people who have raided the salt pans are now being tried and hung.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, like, all right, obviously they're thinking too, who did this? How are they capturing these people is kind of my question. Like, they must be pretty strong if they're just like, all these people, like you said, have now been, captured after the salt pans and hung. What host actually did this? Yeah,
like if there's this many guys, right? That's part of what I'm saying too. Like if you're seeing one every 100 yards for a mile, that's a lot of bodies. Then you had, like, I think your point, Jeff, is even you need a group of even more people to take them.
I don't even know that it needs to be more.
Is it that many bodies though? Now that I think about it, let me just.
I guess you're right. It's only 20. I guess. Well, I'm thinking how many yards are in a mile, and I think it's like 2,000.
5,000. It's
That's feet, isn't it? Like 2,000 something yards.
I think it'd be about like 17 people. Is that right? 5,280 divided by 3.
Okay. Somewhere around there. Yeah.
1760 yards.
That sounds right.
Every 50 or 100 yards, though. So it could be double that.
All right. So then, okay. So let's just say anywhere from 17 to 25.
Yeah. So, and is your point, Jeff, if you have a group of 25 then you need a group of like 30 or 35 to be winning and hanging them at the end.
I would say so.
It feels like Beric's group, though. And I think a lot of the stuff in the chapter kind of points to that, right? Like, wasn't that where Gendry was last seen?
Yeah.
Was with them. So, like...
Did we see him get knighted, too? Because later he says, I'm a knight. I don't know. Did we see that?
I thought so. I thought Thoros or whatever did it.
I don't remember if we saw him getting knighted. I should remember, and I could probably look it up. I do remember we saw Beric just, like, kind of willy-nilly knighting people. I guess we probably saw it with him knighting Gendry. It's probably when we saw that.
Okay, maybe it was that then.
Yeah, that's probably when we saw it. But it was Beric knighted him, exactly. So
because he was like, we're the Knights of the Brotherhood, right? Yeah, the Hollow Hill.
And the Hound was making fun of everybody.
Yeah.
So they kind of, it really implies heavily that they're involved, right? And then Gendry's even like, oh, they're friends. Again, we're skipping around a bunch, but like, he's like, yeah, of course people are showing up. So like,
yeah, Gendry was expecting people on horses to show up at the end. Yeah.
So to me, that's what that's saying is like the Knights of the Hollow Hill are here.
Gotcha.
So Dog found another body off in the weeds. There's a half helm. Pod, they try to get Pod to wear it. He obviously doesn't want to. I thought that was a funny Pod moment.
Yeah. Hyle's like a dick.
Hyle's definitely a dick.
But he's kind of like a funny dick throughout.
Well, I mean, most dicks, if you...
Maybe it means I'm a dick if I think he's funny, but...
You could... I mean, there's points, right? Like, most dicks in our lives, we probably laugh at them every now and again, but it's just too much that you're like, all right, dude, you're a dick.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's a little over the top, for sure. Yeah. He's a lot.
Because I've tried to argue that Hyle's like not that bad of a guy, and he makes it hard to argue sometimes, but I'll stick with my boy.
I don't know. I don't think this chapter helps him. He's just like always fucking around and like always like.
I'll argue for my boy when we get there.
He doesn't seem to take anything too seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else they're saying along this walk is that there's several sigils. No, so I didn't take them down. Or
I got them. Axes, which is House Serwyn, which is from the north. Arrows, House Sarsfield from the west. Salmon, House Mooten from the Riverlands. A pine tree, which is either House Maulin or House Tallheart, both from the north. An oak leaf, which is House Oakheart from the Reach. Beatles, House Betley from the west. Bantams, House Swift. Hand's House from the west. Boar's Head, House Crakehall from the west. And a dozen tridents. This is either House Manderley or House Tague. I'm thinking Manderley because we've never heard of Tague before. But those are north in the Riverlands. The reason I pointed out where each of them are from, it's because they're from all over. So I think that's part of the point.
I do think that's the cool point of it all. And I think it would, if at one point there was time to like say names and maybe where they're from to like drive the point. Maybe you don't have to, right? Brienne says that they're broken men, and we've had that kind of conversation with Maribald, the last Brienne. But I think that's the main point, is that like, damn, war's really fucking with everybody.
Yeah, it's no one side's worse than the other here. It's the broken men thing that Maribald was telling us about. Yeah, this can happen to anyone.
Anybody could become a broken man.
It's really sinking into her here, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they realize because of the salt, they must be from salt. These must be the people who did salt pans. And Maribald says, may the Father judge them harshly. And Brienne's like, I care more about what caused this, kind of what we were getting on before. She thinks it's Beric. He might be nearby.
I don't think it's what caused it. It's who done did it.
Yeah. We should be more worried about who's out there that's hanging people rather than who these guys were. That doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Right. It's kind of what Brienne's
they're
thinking.
Gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yep.
We had just mentioned that she was looking every one of them in the face to see if she had recognized them. We mentioned that. And the one thing I was curious about here, because of what happens later, is she said she saw one with a hound helm.
Yeah.
Did she?
She did.
On the way in. The one that she fights.
No, Jeff means hung, I think.
Yeah, let me try to find the quote now.
While you're looking for it, I have the Dany quote here, just because it has been a while. I'll read that. The great masters of Meereen had withdrawn before Dany's advance, harvesting all they could and burning what they could not harvest. Scorched fields and poisoned wells had greeted her at every hand. Worst of all, they had nailed a slave child up on every milepost along the coast road from Yunkai, nailed them up still living with their entrails hanging out, and one arm outstretched to point the way to Meereen. Leading her van, Daario had given orders for the children to be taken down before Dany had to see them. But she had countermined him as soon as she was told. I will see them, she said. I will see every one, and count them, and look upon their faces, and I will remember.
Definitely similar.
Yeah. I think, first off, it's just interesting to get a Dany quote in a while. We haven't had Dany in fucking forever. It's like, oh, fuck, I forgot Dany was going through some hardcore shit over there. Exactly.
I don't even know who Dany is. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It said none of them had a hound helm.
Gotcha.
And I must have read it as one of them, just fastly.
Yep.
So I'm an idiot. And then we get a long history of where we're heading, which I'm sure this is probably Nelson's favorite.
Yeah, so here's the thing about this inn that part of it I don't like. We get like 2 or 3 pages on this. George does not give 2 or 3 pages if it doesn't mean something, and I don't really know what it means. I did a little Googling. I didn't really see anybody with some good ideas. There's some small bits that I have thoughts on, but the whole thing in general, I don't. Like here's my theory, and I have no idea like what step 2 is, but step 1 is all the names of this inn together, like the Old Inn, the River Inn, the Inn of the Crossroads, the Clanking Dragon. Like if you take all the names, like
and make a sentence?
POV character or something like.
I thought you were going to make a sentence out of it, like the Clanking Dragon.
Oh, maybe, I don't know, but that's my theory. I don't know step 2. Step 1 is the names. Get the list of all and I have the list, but I don't know what step 2 is. But yeah, that's where I think the theory starts.
I don't know.
Have a cool theory.
To me, it just kind of seemed like it was explaining that this inn has been around longer than the reign of a lot of this stuff. I don't know. It perseveres.
Shit changed over time.
Yeah, exactly. Like
the river moved. The inn changed names. The people running it changed. The families. The king. I don't know if it's just a.
And they're like, this was only 80 years ago or whatever. I think it's just kind of pointing out, the speed at which
life
the surroundings and things are changing, but also the steadiness that is the fact that this inn kind of existed. I don't know. It's kind of.
So before we get into the actual history of it, let's see if you guys remember every time this inn, like we've been here before. I mean, we don't need every single one, but there's like some main things that kind of happened here.
Is this the cat inn? Is this that inn?
This is the inn where Tyrion got captured by Cat.
Cat captures Tyrion.
This is the first inn. That was the first time we were here, right?
Yeah, that's the first big thing.
The Hound. It mentions the Hound kills the Mountain Men.
Well, hang on. Let's go chronologically. I think chronologically it's going to have to be Arya and Gendry were here.
I don't know if Arya and Gendry.
I think they were outside of here when the Queen's men showed up or the King's men showed up.
No, I don't think they made it this far.
Yeah, I don't think they made it this far. They got stuck at.
They were at an inn.
This is north of Harrenhal. You're right. But I think that was a different end. The second thing I had was this is Tyrion swings by here either right before or right after the battle at the Green Fork. So when he comes down from the Mountain of the Vale, this is your late book one, I think. Right, and they have that battle. He's with Tywin. Tywin kind of sends him out as the fodder with the Mountain Clansmen, but they end up winning. Either right or before or after that. That's when Tyrion also swings by here again. I think they're actually like the war camp is up on a hill, and the inn is like at the bottom of the hill. Like that might be even where Tywin's staying during the war council and stuff. But Tyrion sees Marcia Heddle, who was the innkeep the first time, hung, and he's like, "All I wanted was a bed. Like you could have just given me a bed." But if you go back, as soon as Kat starts causing problems with Tyrion, she's like, "No, not here, please. I don't want any of your high lords like quarrels." And then she ends up dead, and here's Tyrion saying like, "Should have stayed out of it." Like she tried to stay out of it. Like I think part of it, and Maribald gets to it with the dead bodies. He's like, it's the small folk. Like, and Hyle says like, "Oh, I didn't know it was so dangerous to be an innkeep." And Maribald says it's not innkeeps, it's just small folk. Like they don't give a fuck. And I think that might have something to do with this history too. Is just like the point is like, there's king after king, lord after lord. These innkeeps keep getting shit on and move on to the next, and the one sign thrown in the water because the one king got pissed off, or the whoever, right? So that might be part of it. But again, I don't honestly know what the point is. I think that is a point of this inn, but I don't know if that's the point of this history right here.
So is that the 3 times? Is there any other ones? You got Cat and Tyrion, and the Hound.
Yes, those ones.
I thought we were hearing more than that, but I'm obviously misconstruing this in with another.
They say
one.
so many inns that, like, you got the inn of the Kneeling Man.
Yeah,
right? Is that something different else, or is that?
That's
different.
Inn,
yeah,
right? That was the one on the river.
We've had
that was on the river.
There's a couple inns that I think I absolutely would get.
That's fair.
To.
Yeah, but this one inn 4 times. Like I don't know if we've been in Winterfell 4 times. But we have.
Well, again, it's right at the when we think about Brienne and her next route when she does have a bed, it's literally the middle of like. It's not really the middle.
That's what she says.
It's kind of the interstate, right? You could take the fucking turnpike any which direction you want now to get to a major spot.
Yeah, you're literally at the crossroads, right? Which is and that's what they call it now, is the crossroads inn.
I think that's part of it too. Is it's like it's a significant trail marker at crossroads in time.
Yeah,
it's the other side of that, right? I think my mic for some reason is my headset mic. By the way.
Wow! After all that time.
All right, so let's jump into this history of this here old inn.
Yeah, so they say it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, but this one was built during the reign of Jaehaerys, which I guess means it's been burned and destroyed and rebuilt over and over again. But this iteration was during the reign of King Jaehaerys. Jaehaerys died around 100 BC. We're at 300, so it was about 200 years ago. So this one's been here for at least 200 years.
House of Dragon times.
Yeah, exactly. That House of the Dragon starts with Jaehaerys' death, so it was around. It's been around for all House of the Dragon. Okay. Maribald, you haven't watched House of the Dragon, Kyle. Why is that an okay?
I meant like because it helps. It does help like to put things into perspective. That's
yeah.
Prehistory is long, right? And so for me to put a trail marker on it.
Yep. So he's like, because it's been around for so long, some people just call it the Old Inn, but Jaehaerys and his queen had stayed there, so it was also called the Two Crowns Inn for a while in their honor. Then some innkeep built a bell tower, and it was called the Bell Ringer Inn. So this is why I think it's up to the names, because we just get like this weird list of the Old, the Two Crowns, the Bell Ringer. Right, we'll get to it.
Clanking Dragon. Yeah.
So then there was a crippled knight, John Heedle, and Marcia Heedle was the lady who we were talking about earlier who got hung, who Kat knew when Kat said she used to come here in her girlhood. So this family has had it for a long time. This guy since the rebellions, right? In the second rebellion, the second Dunk and Egg book, there was talk of the rebellions. So this family has held it since the second Dunk and Egg book, which was about 100 years ago.
But they were. I was a little bit. I mean, I'm not confused because they were king loyalists, right? They were Red Dragon people.
Yeah, they had just built this sign. So this guy, he was a knight, and then he got hurt, so he became a smith, and he built this big ass sign made up of all these parts, and they were like roped together with wire and rope and stuff. But it basically, the symbol was a big ass 3-headed black dragon. But this was before there was a rebellion, so it was just kind of like
it was just a dragon.
Yeah,
he wasn't making red iron.
No. Well, again, it didn't matter. The color didn't super matter.
I know.
Yeah, back then. But then this rebellion happens, right? That we know of. Daemon Blackfire, bastard son of Aegon IV, rose in rebellion, took the black dragon as a sigil. These lands belonged to Lord Derry, who was fiercely loyal to the king and and the sight of the black dragon made him wroth, so he cut down the sign and threw it in the river. This is an interesting tool because Derry, what do we know about House Derry? We learned something about them in a recent Jaime chapter when he was visiting. Remember, he says when he was at House Derry with Tyrion before.
They still have Targaryen stuff, don't they?
Maybe not anymore, but yeah, when they were with Tyrion, when he was with Tyrion on the way up or down from Winterfell, I think up to Winterfell at the very beginning of the books. Again, we didn't see this, but he's thinking back to then. Tyrion gets down in the cellars, and they still have all these Targaryens ones. So yeah, we're thinking that they're loyalists.
Turns out all they needed to do was leave it in the water for a little bit, and they would have got the red dragon. They could have kept the name. Just rusted it up.
At least one of the heads rusted up and popped out on the Quiet Isle. Yeah, that's what Elder Brother was telling us last time. That shit pops up there all the time. So back in those days, so he says he took the sign down and threw it in the river. Yeah, and they called it the River Inn back in those days after the Clanking Dragon. And it's like there's no river here anymore. I
thought this was the coolest part of the history was that it was like a fishing little deal. Like you could have a room and you were catching trout, and then
out your window,
bam, the river moved. Which I know obviously rivers do move, but it seems like it moved a whole lot. No,
I didn't look into this at all. Yeah. This is something I could definitely go down a rabbit hole on because, like we've heard before, like the arm of Dorne. Dorne used to be connected to Essos, and there was some magic back in the day that the Children of the Forest did that like caused that to break because the first men were coming and like invading their land, so they did some, and there was something similar that they tried to do at the neck. And again, we don't know if any of this is true. This is all like legend, but like there's like some type of like flood the area or do some water type magic to stop something from happening. So I want to go look and see like 80 years ago who's king, what's going on in the realm, like what could there be any weird magic stuff happening or people pissing off any nature gods, you know what I mean? Like, could any weird shit like that be happening?
Maybe it's just some big engineering project they pulled off to relocate the river.
That could just be it too.
Further south. I don't know. Yeah, Jeff, you're right. It does. It seems very drastically changed versus.
Yeah, I want to know just how far. Like, is it 100 yards away? Is it 100 feet away? Is it a mile away?
It's at least a mile, right? Because
the river's a mile away. Is a crazy movement.
Yeah, that's far.
Because Brienne says we left the river a while ago.
Natural movement. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's why I'm suspicious. And I feel like, again, I don't know. I feel like rivers do move, but it's not like and it moves one day. It's like over the course of 20 years.
I mean, I saw a TikTok video. Like, if a windy one becomes straight and then it becomes windy again, right? But it's not.
Unless it found like a whole new path that it broke through that was all a faster path. It could potentially have done that, but I thought it was kind of to point out that this kind of retelling or whatever was maybe false, but then you get there later and part of it is built up on big pylons. Yeah. So I don't know, right?
Seems to check out. I feel like when she kind of goes through the story and checks everything off, like there's the bell tower, there's where you would hung over the river, but
yeah, exactly. I think it's because George needed whatever this theory that I don't know part 2 of. River is important, so it needed to be called the River Inn to get that name in there. So the river had to come by here at some point.
The Tullys or something.
And we've been here before, and we know the river doesn't come by here, so we have to explain that away. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But again, I don't know step 2, so clearly this is not a great theory. But
sounds like nobody does.
I did write a list of all the names somewhere. Yeah, so it's Old Inn, Two Crowns, Bell Ringer, Clanking Dragon, River, and then now the Crossroads Inn. So I don't know what those can mean, but that's my theory.
And we had met Marsha Heddle. Marsha Heddle. We had mentioned we met her.
Masha.
Is it Masha? No R.
Yeah,
I think it's Masha. Yeah, she was chewing too much tobacco. We got in the middle, mixed into the war.
Yeah, sweet red leaf or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, sour leaf turned her teeth red.
Yeah.
It is being commoners when the lords play their games of thrones.
Yep. Maribel with a little drop, too.
Gotta love a mention of the original title.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they said back in the day there used to be a ferry here, too. You could take to get to Lord Haraway's town, which I think is near Harrenhal. I guess a ferry is just straight across the river, right? Not
probably.
The one time we need the map, and Nelson doesn't fucking have it.
I have the map. I didn't send it because before when I was about to send it, I was like, yeah, there's not much.
Just kidding. Maps don't matter.
They're probably pulling a rope back and forth across the river, right?
That's what I think when I think ferry. Yeah, but maybe that's just because I've outlawed Josie Wales. Like I feel like to get to 2 different places like this, you'd have to be able to go down river at least a little bit. I guess some ferries do that. Some ferries have paddle boards in the back.
They don't have that shit here. What motor do they have for that?
Oarsman?
A horse?
A horse?
Yeah,
Oarsmen? You think these like little podunk town has oarsmen?
Yeah, I think you're. Well, the Hound was on that ferry with Arya, and I think they were just getting pulled across. So you're probably right. But yeah, it takes them to White Walls and to Lord Haraway's town. So for this inn, what we've heard now is two of Masha Hedel's nieces have opened it back up, and he points his staff and he says that smoke's probably it. So they're getting close. And they're still walking through the bodies. At one point, they get out of like the forest and they start going more through fields. And basically, they say even though the trees were gone, they just replaced them with like gibbets. So the trees were gone, but the bodies weren't. And Hyle joke says they should call this the Gallows Inn. I think this could also be part of the theory. These potential names.
This is another name.
One or two of them. Exactly. One or two of them get tossed out.
Interesting.
So
can we go through your list? Or are you keeping them?
Yeah. I already did it, but we can do it again. Old, Two Crowns, Bell Ringer, Clanking Dragon, River, Crossroads. So then the ones that they joke about are Gallows Inn, the Crossbow Inn, and Orphan Inn. These are like three jokes that I think Hyle throws out later.
Are you going to tell us the names that you think corresponds to these names of the inn?
I don't know. I told you I have no idea what step 2 is.
That's what he said. That's part 2, and he doesn't know.
Oh my gosh, you didn't do any legwork to this.
Yeah,
I think he did some.
I wrote down the names of the inns. What do you mean? You're welcome.
Who sigil has a crossbow? Who's running around with a crossbow? Like, think a little bit.
Well, then who is it, Jeff?
Who's out there hanging people?
Well, whose sigil has old? Like when the first one's old.
Someone from Old Town. It's the closest people to Old Town. Hightower. Come on.
Okay.
Do I gotta force feed this to you now?
But we didn't have a chapter of Hightowers. I don't understand what.
Yeah, we don't really know any Hightowers. Hightowers are a House of the Dragon thing.
We got 3 books left. They're gonna pop up at some point.
All right, let's keep going. All
right, so we come up on the inn, and it's described as, Brienne describes it, right? We see the bell tower. We see that it was built up for the river.
3 stories, white stones. Yeah, we see everything.
Luckily, this place wasn't burned down. Is what she mainly pulled from it because salt pans were fucked. And she quickly says, like, when they got to the salt pans, like everyone that was alive was gone, and the castle was still locked up, and they wouldn't let him in. Lady kind of answered the door, but said pretty much fuck off to the inn at the crossroads.
Yeah,
we're not taking you.
Exactly.
And as they get closer, we could hear a ringing. Ding.
At a forge. Yep, someone's pounding some steel.
Ding.
Yeah, Kyle, were you have any thoughts?
Speaking of forge, I watched a little Forged in Fire last night to get in the mood for this chapter.
I mean, it definitely felt like it had to be Gendry, right? Like, why else would that be called out to me? And like the way that we had already talked about Beric and all that, like I said, this is kind of why.
Gotcha.
My end guess is going to be what it is. But what was I going to say? Fuck. Oh, that lady. Yeah, that was pretty much the same reaction they had, right? That was that dude's pretty much default mode. It's just like, tell him to go away. Like, whoever's at the door, tell him to go away.
Yeah.
We don't want any. That was the dude at Salt Pans.
The Salt Pans Lord.
So they gave them the same treatment where they're like, yeah, get fucked, go to the inn at the crossroads. Like you can't stay here.
What do you mean that was his default treatment? You saying he's doing the same thing he did to whoever raided the town?
No, he did that shit to the people of the town when they're like, hey, save us, and he's like, no, I'm good up here. Like, go away, get fucked. And then Maribald's like, oh, he's gonna want saving, right? Like he's gonna need to tell somebody his sins and all that. And he said, "Nah, go get fucked."
Nah, fuck
like off. That's what I'm saying. Like,
my sins are good.
Fuck
fuck
the
off.
sins. I'm fine.
Yeah, they like banged on his door for like an hour and a half. And
yep,
that's all I was saying. Yeah.
All right. So as we continue to walk up, we're hearing the ringing from the forge, and then there's a boy swinging on something like a fucking swing
on the chains from the old hangman's gibbet. Yeah, where Marsha Heddle was being hung. He's like swinging on it like it's a playground, right? And there's 4 little girls watching him on the porch.
I mean, this whole thing's kind of sad, right? It's very feral children.
Yeah, the youngest of these children is 2, and the oldest is no more than 9 or 10, she thinks. And Hyle's like, "Okay, girls, go get your mom. There's people here now." And the boy gets off the thing he's swinging on and
sprints to Gendry.
The girl's like, "We don't have any mothers. They're all dead."
Yeah.
That's pretty morbid.
Yep. And he's like, "Who are you guys?" Or no, the oldest girl steps forward and asks who they were. Brienne introduces everybody. the hammering stops. The implication to me is the little boy ran off
to Gendry,
Gendry, right?
And Big Dog's on his way. No shirt.
So Brienne introduces themselves. She introduces herself as Willow. I'm guessing this is Willow.
One
Heedle.
of the niece. One of the nieces, yeah.
One of the nieces. Maybe not the same last name, I guess, but yeah, relation.
Jane's the other niece.
Because later she mentions her sister, exactly.
I thought Arya had somebody named Willow or something, but I guess not.
She had a Jane. Or
Okay.
there was a
Jane
running around with them. Yeah.
Jane Poole is...
That was Sansa's friend, and then she named somebody
Sansa's
Jane or
friend.
something. What was the little fern? Did she have a fern?
Who's Fern?
Fern.
Arya had a Fern?
I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm trying to pull some. Anyway,
Jean Westerling was also Rob's wife's name. She's still alive in River Run, right? We heard about her a couple chapters ago, Jamie. Yeah, we know a few
I could be wrong.
Janes,
Okay.
Janes.
I know, but I thought, what about Willow?
I don't think we've heard of Willow. What's
Okay, I
what's
thought
her
we
name?
did. That was
Weasel.
my-
Weasel's the little
Weasel.
girl.
Maybe that's a.
Yeah, that's the Arya little girl that she knew, and then took the name for.
Weasel was the one that didn't talk but ran away.
Yeah,
Keep Weasel on the front of your head, actually.
yeah. Maybe this is Weasel. Well, she was only like 2, I think, so she's grown up a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
out there,
maybe
though.
Weasel could be here, I guess. If
Yeah.
if
Could
Weasel
be,
had a
but,
great
yeah.
ending, she's here. Yeah, probably not.
She made it.
Probably not though.
Oh, she made it. She made it somewhere.
Yeah, you can tell yourself that. So
All right, Brienne introduced everyone.
yeah, we want food, we want beds.
She does not hypes everyone up, but like, look, you can trust us. I'm here to. Doesn't call herself a knight, but like, he's a knight. This is my squire. He's a septon. Like, we just need a place to rest. And I was like,
we're weary
I need
travelers.
beer.
Yeah, give me ale and a bed and some food. We have horse, no girls, a few feather beds, mostly straw though. But you got to give us silver. And he's like, silver? The fuck? Like, no way. He's like, silver or see you later.
What's the going rate for a room these days?
We're only in a round. We can charge whatever the hell we want.
It also seems like she should be like wanting almost anybody to stay here, right? Like, because she's like, we don't have many customers lately, and it's like,
Oh, I think it's one of the things where money, it doesn't really matter anymore. It's
Okay.
again, it's like Maidenpool
That's fair.
seems to be kind of up and running again. It seems like we're kind of back out far enough where we're not quite recovered from the war as much. So
Okay.
we're still in the land of like, I don't care if I have a ton of gold. What's that going to do? She cares more that Maribald has a crate full of
food.
porridge.
My take was that they actually didn't want them to stay, but they had the food, so it's like, all right, come on, you can stay. But like most
Exactly.
people are like, fuck off, we're not staying for silver. And it's like, fine, like we got 30 kids running around, and our friends will probably be back soon who probably want the beds, right? So
Yeah, I had the same vibe.
Me too.
yeah. All right, so Jane's the innkeep now. Willow says it's her sister, and she's the one that is responsible for running off the whores, but she's not here right now.
Yep.
And bam, voice comes from behind, and Brienne saw a ghost.
Yeah.
Second time we see the ghost of Renly.
Gendry.
Yeah. So Willow says they don't get many travelers these days, mostly just sparrows dropping off orphans, or worse. So again, just mention of the sparrows, and then when she's like, what do you mean worse? Robbers, thieves, and she saw a ghost, Renly. No hammer blow to the heart could have felled her half so hard. My lord, she gasped. Lord? The boy pushed back a lock of black hair that had fallen across his eyes. I'm just a smith. Like, this is gotta be so weird. Like, she's straight up like, my lord. Like,
Yeah,
He's like,
that's
what
weird.
the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
And he's like, what? And that's when she realizes, oh, damn, this isn't Renly. Like, he does look a lot like Renly, though.
A lot of traits. She goes through them all, which we've done this dance a couple times now, the seed is strong type of thing with the Baratheons. I feel like it took her a long time to think about Robert. You know what I mean?
To piece it together, yeah.
Oh, she doesn't really mention it at all until later, right? But
Yeah, or even until they're conversating out at the forge again. Like,
yeah, but I had a feeling she had that vibe. Like, I don't know. She didn't think it like in the chapter, but she's maybe realizing it here.
I feel like even later on at the beginning of dinner, she's still thinking of how he could be Renly.
Maybe.
No?
I don't remember. You're right. It's not clear when she realizes.
I feel like it clicks kind of at the dinner table, not
Okay, that might be
here.
true.
But I mean, I don't know. It's not on the front of her mind. She's probably still flabbergasted that it's Renly.
It's hard to blame her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
At this
I'm not
point, I
going
think she's
around
just
thinking of
like,
like who's. Oh, you look like that person. Maybe you're his bastard. Like,
yeah, exactly. I think at this point she's just like, oh, damn, Renly. Oh, never mind. That he does look a lot like Renly, but that's not quite him. But she doesn't take the thought too much further than that, right? she's like, Renly always smiled at me. He's looking at me pretty angry. So, and I think Willow at one point has given her, Brienne thinks like Willow gave me a look that I was used to from everybody else. And Maribald like has to explain, oh, she's a warrior maid. Like she's on a quest. Again, the way he describes it here is pretty cool. Like, oh, she's on a noble quest or whatever. And we're just looking for a place to rest our weary heads, like out of a storybook.
Just a D&D. Just a D&D
exactly.
story.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like an alright guy, Maribald.
Well, Maribald's the best. Yeah.
I think he's a stand-up sept, yeah.
And he's trying to say like, oh, Masha Heddle. Me and her were tight. She always looked out for me.
Used to give me a honey cake.
Yep.
Tough shit. She's not around.
Yeah, she did.
Kyle jokes that hanging is a favorite sport around here, and if he had any land, he would sell or grow hemp and then sell rope and become rich.
Be a good business. Yeah, the only real thing I have left is Willow and Gendry kind of arguing if they should take him in or not, and then we see all the kids. So my notes are a little bit scarce now, so I just didn't want to.
No, yeah, you're good. There's not much here.
Yeah, it's just more and more kids keep coming out, right? And then we get to the point
they're
where
loaded. They're locked and loaded too.
Oh, yeah, where we get to the point where Willow's like, "Hey, how about the food? You guys can stay," and then she's like, "Hey, everybody, we're getting dinner," and it's just like really a sad situation, right?
Yeah.
Just tons.
And Willow whistles, and that's when all the kids show up. Some with crossbows, some come out, call out of the porch and stuff.
I thought it was really cool that when they do start getting into dinner time, that like they didn't hold back at all. It was like, all right, fuck it, like this is what we have. Like get that shit in the pot, let's roll. And I'm sure a lot of that's Maribald's doing.
I was
like,
gonna say
that's pretty much his job, right?
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that kind of camaraderie part of the end of the crossroads before the melee.
The one thing I did have a question on, and it doesn't matter, but when Willow orders all the children to like, hey, help out, you do this, you do that, you do this. At one point she says, John, Penny, help the Septon with his bundles. But there's no comma in between John and Penny. When previously
John Penny?
I'm wondering if it's the same, if it's one name. Can you
John
Penny
book and tell me what you think? I know it doesn't matter, but for my notes. Need to know if John and Penny are one person or if it's
Hey, you, John Penny.
Because he says something about like Watt and Will and Tansy and Pate, and some of those he does have commas separated, but then these two, and I was like, is that one person? John Penny's kind of a weird name though.
John Penny. Tansy, Pate, John Penny. I think it's one person. Tansy, Pate, run get some fire.
John
Penny. You helped the Septon with those bundles. Yeah, it's John Penny.
Yeah, does it matter?
Well, is it one link in my note or two notes?
It's one link.
I give it John Penny. Give it one name, yeah.
If there's just another John, they're just differentiating from Johns. That's the only reason. All right, so they all end up getting rooms. Bran got a nice one, and Pod's like, "Hey, am I staying with you, or am I going with Sir Hyle again?"
Yeah, I love Pod. So good.
It is pretty
I feel
funny.
like you can stay with me. We're not on the Quiet Isle anymore. Come on.
And we got an early wake up.
Yeah. So this seems like there's a short conversation that Brienne and Pod have when they're alone in their room before dinner, after they've come into the inn and everything.
I think it's more her thoughts than it is a convo. She's basically like, "Hey, like."
Well, he's asking questions. I think he's like, "What's next, my lady?"
Sure, but she thinks about it. She doesn't tell him all these things.
Well, she thinks about it, and it seems like time's going by because he's like, "My lady, I asked you what's next," and then she's like, "We'll decide later," or something like that, right?
Sure.
Before
sure.
that, though, she does tell him that, like, look, we got a early morning because I plan to leave before Hyle. Did we say that?
We did not.
Yeah, we didn't quite say that. No. Yeah, Maribald's going one way. We're not going that way because it doesn't help us. So he's gone, and there's no point. If he's gone, there's no point to stay with this. Like, our band's breaking up. Fuck Hyle. I don't like him.
Yeah, fuck.
So we're not waiting for him. We're just gonna pull. She did this to the other hedge knights, right? So we're gonna do the same thing.
I don't think he trusts her if they do end up finding Sansa too, right? Like, I think that was the second part B.
Well, she doesn't trust him. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't swear any vows. Exactly.
Elder brother had convinced her that she would not find Sansa on the Trident, which is kind of the main reason she's pulling out.
Yep.
But she's still stuck at the, like, all right, where am I going to go?
Yeah, she's pulling out from the river. She's not quitting her quest. She's pulling out from the river. Exactly. You said why she's pulling. Elder brother convinced her she's not going to find Sansa is why she's pulling out.
Of the group that's walking on
of the group.
Trident.
Gotcha. She does, because she just clarifying, because she does consider just quitting completely and going back and giving the sword back to Jaime. Well, yeah, so her options when she's thinking.
All right, so we're at the crossroads. No idea where to go. The high road can take us to the Vale, where her Aunt Lysa was, but is now dead. The river road will take us to River Run, which is under siege right now, but Uncle Brendan's still there kicking. And we have the King's Road, which we can go north, maybe get to Moat Caitlin, or all the way into Winterfell. And then she has the next thought that we can actually take that King's Road south, and I could turn the sword in, head back to Evenfall, see her daddy, maybe cry on Jaime's shoulders, and call it quits.
Yep, exactly. She doesn't really like that option, though, but she does keep going down that path. She's like, this is what Elder Brother kind of suggested. Is like, go back to my dad.
Hang up the armor.
I do miss home, and I miss my dad. Like, I do kind of want to see these people. Yeah, did you say this, Jaime? Like, I feel like you were kind of joking about it, but she thinks like if I cried,
who the fuck is Jaime? I ain't Jaime, bitch.
You were saying, I think you did mention this, and
you called me Jaime.
You called him Jaime.
I know, my bad. Did she? You?
I did not mention the details. That I said she would cry on Jaime's shoulders. I didn't mention if he would console her or not.
She actually thinks this. Like, what if I cried on his shoulder? Would he like that? That's what men want, right? For a woman to be weak and get protected and stuff like that. So
she just get weird passing thought about him for sure.
It's like the icebox in Little Giants.
Always back to Little Giants.
Is a great movie.
I don't know.
You never seen those?
I've seen it. I don't know.
The icebox is a female football player that beats the shit. Like, she's the linebacker, fullback, I think, on the team, but she has a crush on the quarterback, and the quarterback has a crush on the cheerleader, which makes her mad. So then she quits football to become the cheerleader, but he actually liked her as the icebox.
Yes, it's exactly like Little Giants.
So don't change, kids. Be yourself.
Well, again, we don't know how this story turns out, but that's the vibe. That seems to be the message here, if there's a message. Because it feels wrong. Like, it feels like Brienne is kind of willing to sacrifice who she really is to try and get what she wants, seemingly Jaime, right? Like, I would play the role of, like, the person that needs protecting, even though I don't want to be that person, if that's what Jaime wanted.
I don't know.
Again, I don't know if she actually thinks this hard, but I think that's kind of the implication. And I agree with you. The message, I think, is supposed to be to the reader, like, no, this is a bad thought.
Because Jaime's thinking about her, too. We should not
think about this.
It's not like Jaime's completely forgotten about her, even though he has had some, like, reactions to go back to Cersei. But I don't know if she's thinking, like, I just think she thinks, like, if Jaime actually were to be with me, I would have to drop everything. Not that, I don't think she's actually truly thinking about dropping who she is, but I think if she would want Jaime, she would have.
What do you think, Kyle? You've been making faces as we've been talking about it.
I think you're putting a lot into this, like, passing thought she has that, like, oh, maybe Jaime. I don't know.
It just feels very out of place for Brienne to think, like, I'm gonna cry on his shoulder. Would he like that? Like, is this something that she would also like? Because to me, there have been one or two lines in the past where she's like again, it feels kind of bad to bring up in this chapter because Hyle kind of jokes about it later, but she has thought, like, oh, it would be nice to be like a mom. Like, what would that feel like? She, you know what I mean? Like, she has had that thought before. So I don't know if she's honestly thinking, you know what, it would be nice to get protected sometimes. Or is she thinking, like, or, you know what I mean? To me, it reads more like she's giving up something that she holds dear for someone else, you know what I mean? In a way that she almost shouldn't, rather than it's something that she wants deep down. You know what I mean? I think it's hard to tell how to read it. I'm just trying to get your opinion on it.
But I feel like she's also kind of in this weird traumatic situation currently where I don't know that she knows what she wants, and it's kind of unloading in this weird way, and I don't know that she's really putting too much thought into giving up who she is just for Jaime. Right? Like, I don't know. I don't think, I kind of agree with Kyle. I think she thinks that if I were to really be with him, this is like a passing thought. I'd have to, but I'm not going to. It's kind of where I put my chips.
I think at this point, Kyle can see that we definitely can't play this game out super far enough to see what actually happens. Jeff and I clearly don't know, like, if this relationship is a thing that ever comes to pass, whether Brienne's a lot, you know what I mean? So I think, to me, I would hate if that was the case, though. I would much prefer if it ended up with, like, a Little Giant story where Brienne sold out. Like, if she did sell out on these values and all of a sudden Jaime liked her less or something like that, I think that would be a better story for me than she becomes a nice lady in a gown, and then Jamie loves it. Like that's a bad ending. Yeah, I don't like that story.
That's lame.
So,
all right, moving on.
I don't think that's how it would happen.
No, Brienne probably dead anyway. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's not gonna like anybody with. She's gonna have a bite mark on her face now, Nelson.
Yeah, nasty. 2 of them. Went down for dinner. Too many kids to count. She tried. Gendry's the oldest one there, but Willow seems to be the one, in charge. She's kind of ordering everybody around.
Yeah.
And she's like, damn, she's kind of running this ship like a highborn lady would. She's kind of brown-haired, kind of average-faced girl. Not that pretty. Not Sansa for sure.
She's the same age as Arya, though.
Makes you wonder.
Like, what color were Arya's eyes? So yeah, I was like, could this be Arya?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had the benefit of knowing it's not, so it really wasn't that exciting.
Yeah. I mean, that's Brienne's whole story, is we know Sansa's not fucking here at the end.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. That's fair. It's good recap in chapter.
Nelson still loves that.
I do wonder if this could be like some other highborn girl on the run that we have somehow heard of in passing or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I find that hard to believe.
I do too.
Highborn girls are getting taken as hostages, and right.
I agree, but like Tyrek, Tyrek is missing. If we found an inn being run by a blonde kid about the age of Tyrek, and Brienne thinks, you know what, he's kind of bossy. I wonder if he's highborn.
Who's Tyrek?
Yeah. He's one of the Lannister cousins. He went missing. Kid. He's been missing, and they bring it up every once in a while. That like, we haven't found him. He's probably dead. You know what I mean? So like, my point is like, if somebody that we've heard of a few times is being missing and is a highborn kid, this one just doesn't fit the description. I can't think of a highborn kid we haven't had that's missing besides Arya. So yeah, I don't think it's the case. But
so they keep the fires going, keep them nice and hot. Maribel goes back into the kitchens and teaches the kids how to make some porridge.
Yep.
Again, I like this part. I just like that they're like, all right, we got all this shit. Like, bring it in. Let's cook it up.
Yeah.
Everyone's eating tonight.
To me, porridge is oatmeal, but this seems more like a stew of some sort. Like they're just mixing kind of whatever ingredients they have left. Or is
I think it's more of a soup. Like it's a heavy stewish soup. I never had porridge, and I hate oatmeal. So
I always thought porridge was like.
I mean, you're right, Nelson. Yeah, it's a dish made by boiling grains in milk or water until softened.
It's like a risotto. Sounds like a risotto, actually.
Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you don't like oatmeal if you like risotto. They're like the same thing.
But it's not even close.
What? No. Yeah, not the same. But I like both, but no, not the same. No.
The thing is, like, oatmeal's not good on its own. You got to do it up. You need to put a bunch of shit in it. Like,
well, that's
if
fair.
you just eat oatmeal, like plain oats, you're probably a serial killer.
Well, that's fair. You just a little bit of peanut butter and honey can go a long way, though. It's not.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not you got to put like chocolate in there.
I don't like peanut butter.
Oh, get fucked, Jeff.
Yeah, well then that's
why I don't eat oatmeal. I'm sorry.
Those two go together.
I don't put peanut butter in mine, but yeah.
Berries.
Like even yogurt. I don't like yogurt. People used to throw oats in their yogurt with honey and blueberries, and I don't really like any of that shit, so I don't eat it. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, but
you do.
So she goes down, sits with Tile, and
he's like, "There's some blood in the corner over there. Like, or at least there's a stain of it. They tried to wash it up, but there's probably
the kids out here shooting people."
Brienne says it's probably the Hound, right?
Yeah, they put it together that this is where the Hound killed 3 mountain men.
I mean, she knew right away, though. Yeah.
I think Arya actually helped out. I don't know if he killed all 3, but yeah.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
I know. I'm just pointing.
Yeah, they attributed it to him.
Psychopath Arya was helping out with the murder spree.
Wow, you're going back down that road.
Yeah, all the fans love that take I had.
Probably your worst take ever.
They didn't like it. They're like, you're being so hard on her. Yeah,
Kyle,
exactly.
They are lighting him up in chat.
I'm glad somebody else gets to finally. Yeah, thank you. Let him know he's an idiot and wrong.
We're not going down the Arya tangent again, but the one thing I will say is before we go down that Arya tangent, every time, what I say is I don't really have that big of a deal with her killing Daeron. But if we're looking at it by the letter of the law, I'm right, you're wrong. So
we don't even know the letter of the law. You can't say that.
Right. We don't know the letter of the law, but my assumptions are right and yours are wrong.
Why are your assumptions right and ours wrong?
Because I'm referencing things that happen in the book, and everybody else is just like, I don't know. I feel like Arya had the right to do it.
That's not true.
Like,
I reference things that happen in the
books. We're not going down this rabbit hole. Let's go.
You opened it up. You're a liar.
No.
Nelson literally
it's not the right chapter.
Has no quotes either. All right, so I was like, there's too many kids. Some of them are locked and loaded. Like, we need to be on our toes here. I don't trust these fucking kids. And Brienne's like, relax. They don't even have a mother.
they're kids.
They're
But
children.
I'm with Heil on this one. It's like the hypothetical. Like,
For
would
sure.
you rather
For sure.
fight? What's the hypothetical? Would you rather fight like 10 horse-sized ducks or 100 duck-sized
Just use
horses?
the one that everyone's talked about. Is the 100 men to a gorilla, or I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. The idea is size can be overcome with enough quantity. Exactly.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
gorilla
for
and
sure.
100 men's a way more topical one. Exactly. It's the same idea though. And he's like, at some point, it's not a gimme.
They should definitely be fucking on. Like, there's nothing stopping if these kids were ruthless, like Gendry and Willow were ruthless. Like, take everything they have, fucking kill them, go fucking hang them in a tree with the rest of them.
I'm bad with kids' ages. Like, I can only really like know my sister. Like, my sister's like 16 at this point, so I don't even like.
Well, you could think back to when she was 10.
I don't remember though. I don't remember when she was 10 versus when she was 8 versus when she was 4. It's hard for me to remember. But like, you have a lot of cousins that are about this age, right, Jeff?
I have
How many?
nieces and nephews anywhere from
Your nieces and nephews.
18 to 6 months.
No, the girl and boy.
Yeah, they're 6 and 4.
Okay, how many of them to take
Could
you
take
on?
me down with no weapons.
Me and you. Me and you.
Infinite.
If me and you are Brienne and Heil,
How many
and
crossbows do they have?
Kyle can be pod. They have crossbows. We don't. We have swords.
I mean,
Infinite.
15, right? And 5 of them. If 5 of them are posted up decently, that can get a
Yeah, I guess
quarrel
that's right.
off.
You
Then
just
it
need
doesn't
6.
take.
Yeah.
Jeff, they're not going to hit you. You've seen these kids.
Nah, I'm teaching them how to shoot. They know. How
Yeah,
to shoot.
they probably know. Yeah, exactly. This is a different time.
No
too.
way.
6-year-olds know how to shoot.
This isn't their first quarrel.
Exactly.
These kids have shot a quarrel. Is my guess. It all depends on the crossbowman, really.
Yeah.
In a straight melee, I'm tossing these kids around.
I don't know. I think I could beat up an infinite number of 5-year-olds, Nelson.
If there's no weapons, it's a different story. And I'm with Kyle. I think I can go like 30.
Infinite. You're gonna get tired at some point.
I don't care. It's not the 30. The 31st one isn't gonna kill me.
It's
Yeah,
not like
it
a
is.
one-on-one 30 times in a row. They're all at once. You can't.
They're
just,
not.
Like,
They're 5-year-olds, Nelson. You think they have a game plan?
they're charging.
Well, yeah.
That's the
They
game
know
plan.
war tactics. Like,
Charge
you
and
think
shoot
that?
crossbows.
They see me.
We don't have time for this, Kyle. Let's go.
I'm gonna bash a couple of them, and they're
There's
not
supposed to be
gonna
a quick
keep coming.
hypothetical joke. We're going way too long on this.
Yeah, so I don't know what the quote is, but Heil's making fun of her for being like wanting to be a woman, right? Like wanting to be a mother to these kids or to kids in the future and yada yada. We get down the conversation that is like, yo, give me another chance, baby. Let me marry you. I'll show you what this thing do.
Yeah, and I think this is why the Jamie quote's kind of more important too, especially because Brienne has this thought once or twice where she's like, I do kind of at one point, or it would be nice, what if, you know what I mean? These types of thoughts, like what if I was a mother or whatever. So here, Kyle, in a very crude way, is kind of suggesting that. And I said I was going to defend him before. Again, like Arya, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. My defense here is what I appreciate about Heil, and again, it's not like I'm saying I condone this or this is how I would do this, but is prudent the right word? Where he's not trying to like mince words. He's not like, hey, Brienne, you're so beautiful. I love you because of who you are. He's just like, he's a straight shooter. He's like, hey, we could both get something from this. If you do have any of that want to be a mother with kids in you, I can help you do it. Like there's some other guys might not, but I would. And I'm going to get a come up from it. Again, he's very crude about it, but he's not a bullshitter, I guess, is part of what I like about Heil. I'm not saying I like Heil. I kind of do like Heil. But the point is I like that about him, that he kind of calls a spade a spade.
I mean, you can tell the truth and not
be a dickhead. Yes,
have
exactly.
good intentions. Well, no, I'm just saying this guy still seems like he sucks.
He's probably spent most of his time, and I'm not defending this at all. He's got a lot of locker room talk, right? Like,
yes,
he's talking like everyone's like him, kind of. You know what I mean? Like no filter. Like fuck it, let's do it. Like fuck you, blah blah blah. But
yeah, and I don't agree with it, but I guess to me it makes it less bad that he's like talking to Brienne like this, because it's like he's not talking like this at like at a dinner table with nobles. He's talking like this in a situation where normally it would be like other dudes. Brienne just happens to be in the situation of like another dude, another knight, right out on this, like, you know what I mean, sitting next to a knight at a table with a bunch of knights. So he's here, she's in the locker room.
He's treating her like one of the guys that he could marry. And
exactly. Does that make it okay? No. On my high school football team, we had a girl who was our kicker. She was awesome. She was a soccer goalie on our high school soccer team. was the kicker on our high school football team. When she
Same,
was
actually.
around, the jokes, they were still probably pretty crude, right, when she was around. But there was like, you know what I mean? It changed a little bit. I think that's the thing is like Hyle's not
How it didn't change.
changing his jokes for the company that are around, right?
But at the same time, like, Brienne's just trying to do her job. She
And eat
doesn't
dinner.
deserve to be harassed by this
For
fucker.
sure.
That's like, hey, let's bang. Hey, you owe me
Well,
a
yes.
bang. Let's go fuck. Hey, let's
Leave
fuck
your
up.
door
We
open.
should
I'll
be
show
fuck-
you.
Yeah,
I'll show you what a real man
so,
does.
I mean, that's what I'd have to
No,
say.
he's the
Dustin, is
worst.
that-
Hyle's the
the-
worst.
The undefendable
Yeah.
part is the hey, yeah, just leave your door open and I'll show you tonight. Like that's
He's actually the
no,
worst.
you
though.
don't do. He's pretty bad. So yeah, again, I was playing devil's advocate. I'm not a Hyle. I kind of like him. Again, he's funny.
You kind of like him, but he's kind of the worst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
that's fair. I mean, you're allowed to like
I'm
bad
not waving his
characters,
banner.
but you're allowed to also call them bad characters.
Yeah, he's a bad
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, I enjoy Cersei, but she's a fucking awful person.
Again,
But I enjoy
he's a
her.
great character. Like he has stuck up for Brienne before in situations where no one else we've seen has ever stuck up for Brienne like that. Like with Randall Tarley, lost his job for it. You argued he would rather be out here anyway. I don't know about that, but
He was a little late to the call tonight. Where the fuck were you, Hyle, when she was 1v7? But we'll
Yeah.
get there soon, if we ever get there.
Yeah.
All right, so Maribel prays. Gendry's like, fuck that, I ain't praying. And Maribel calls him out on that. I was like, yo, what, you don't pray for the gods?
Gendry said, "Is that what you said?"
I did.
Okay, I think you said Maribel twice. Maribel prays.
Well,
Gendry says, "I'm not praying."
Gendry, exactly. And then Maribel's like, yo, why aren't you praying? Gendry's
Yeah.
like, I ain't praying for your gods. And he bounces. No dinner. And one of the other kids says that he's follows the Lord of Light now.
Kyle, any thoughts?
I mean, like, it's one of those things where you're near this dude doing all this crazy shit. Like, of course, that's kind of where he's at now, right?
Yeah, again, I think part
If
of
he's a follower, I think that's probably if he truly is a knight of the Hollow Hill, like they were all.
yeah. Again, I guess my guess would be if on a first read, like seeing Gendry here does not imply necessarily that like he's still with. Like to me, it could imply he's left the blur. Like he's not with them anymore. Like, hey, see ya. Like I have nothing to do with you. Seems to me like you think from what you were saying earlier that like he's still with them. Like he thinks his friends are showing up later again. I think there are some hints of that. I think
Yeah,
one
they
of them
seem
is
there.
that he still follows their religion, right? Like if he had a
Uh-huh.
falling out, which I think at this point in the chapter might still be like a potential on a first time read. I think this is a hint like, oh, maybe he didn't have a falling out. Maybe this is somehow connected to that group type thing. Is what I was thinking. But
Yeah, I didn't think he fell out with them. So
okay, yeah. Again, it's hard to remember what I thought on the first read so long ago, but
It's
that's
alright.
what we got you here. So
Yep. So he goes out to the forge. Brienne ends up taking him food, and they start to have the conversation. Before that, she just kind of looks at him a little bit and starts asking about his parentage, which I have figured you'd had this as a quote, Nels, but
no, I took a lot of these quotes and put them in the notes for the different characters, for like what they look like and stuff. But no, yeah, he
Yeah.
looks like Robert, right? Like,
yeah, he looks like Robert. She kind of finally, I don't know. She obviously had thought about this at some point, right?
yeah, inside or whatever. At some point before this, she's thought this over a little bit.
And she's like, yo, he doesn't know. His mom died, right? Never met his dad.
Who's your mom? Exactly. You're from King's Landing. I can tell by your accent. And he's at one point he's like, my mom's dead. I never knew my dad. She's like, has anyone talked about your face? She's like, my face? Fuck you. Like, look at your face.
Look at
You're
you.
ugly.
Yeah, he just came right back at her.
Gendry's grumpy. The whole chapter, he's pretty grumpy. He's a grumpy guy.
She didn't mean anything by that. Gendry,
Yeah.
relax. She could have been complimenting
Yeah.
you.
Like, they got a dog with him, too. Like, how does that not cheer you up? Like, oh, look at this random guys with the dog and
he
food.
doesn't want them there.
Yeah, but they have a dog and food. Why wouldn't you? That's my point, is why would you not?
Because I think it's more people to interfere in what's. I don't know, right? Like, pretty much everybody that come in.
I think it's just his personality.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think he's
fair.
a very nice
That's
fella,
fair. I don't
Gendry.
know. He seems pissed off for no
Just a
reason.
grumpy.
That's fair.
He's kind of always been grumpy.
He looks like Robert. He reminds Brienne of Renly a little bit, and that the grumpiness is the Stannis part.
Yeah, he's definitely grump. He's definitely grump. He wasn't like. I'm trying to think back, but when Arya was like hyper and like running around, Gendry seemed to be pretty fucking grump. He's a grump.
Yeah, that's true.
Oscar the Grouch. And she's like, well, have you ever met I think she brings it up that like the king, right?
She's like, you have to have seen the king before.
Yeah,
a few times at tourneys and like from far away. One time he almost ran me over when he was drunk driving his horse.
He almost ran me over one time. That wasn't good. Pretty much like I don't like that guy, so he's the worst. At least his sons are doing pretty good. And it's like, oh man, they're not his actual sons. Stannis was right.
Yeah, so it seems like this is where she's realizing that that's true. Like she hasn't actually known the truth of that the whole time. Didn't she get this realization from Jaime at any point that like Jaime, did he not tell her he was banging Cersei? I guess he probably didn't. He told her about the whole.
He didn't tell her that. I don't think anybody told her that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the rumor's out. Everyone knows that rumor because Stannis sent that letter to everyone, so everyone knows the rumor. Whether it's true or not is.
It's the hard thing about genetics too. Like, all right, just because it was a Baratheon dad doesn't mean every single kid ever. But we read the book that everyone actually did have dark hair, dark eyes. You know?
And this is a fantasy book. I think that's part of the point, right?
Like at some point, if it's the first time that Lannisters and Baratheons ever mixed, who says Lannisters weren't stronger than Baratheons, right? I don't know if that's the first time or not.
The seed is strong on both sides, yeah.
Yeah, what if one seed was just stronger? It does seem like the Lannister seed's pretty strong, right? They're all...
Yeah.
We've talked about this, I think, but what about a Targaryen Baratheon?
Well, they've definitely mixed because Baratheons are part Targaryen.
They used to intermarry a lot. They were...
Oh, really?
They were really close friends when Aegon showed up. Exactly. Yeah. Baratheon is he gave to his stepbrother. So when Aegon took over, they kicked out the house that was there before the Baratheons. They were called the Dondarans or the
Dondarrion? I've
not
seen
Dondarrion. That's Beric.
Okay.
I think it was House.
Yeah, you're right.
Duran or Dondarin or something like that. But
doesn't matter.
They basically were like, no, fuck you, Aegon. We're fighting against you. He's like, hey, you better stop, or we're gonna wipe you out completely. And then they wiped him out completely. And he's like, hey, stepbrother, you go there.
Well, what's a Baratheon Targaryen look like? Because they seem like opposite traits.
Well, you get brown hair Targaryen. Yeah, you get brown hair Targaryen sometimes.
Okay.
There's a character in House of the Dragon that should have in the books has brown hair because one of her parents is a Baratheon in the
Okay. Well, there you go.
In the show they gave her Targaryen hair because they didn't want to confuse people.
They dropped the ball on that one.
It would have been confusing.
No, it wouldn't have. And she's like, well, guess what? She was about to tell something cool, and the dog started barking.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out where exactly they are in the conversation when...
The end. I'm at the end, so...
Yeah, but like, what's the last thing? The ugly face? No. She realized... Oh, it's her realizing about them being... bastards. And she's like, Gendry, listen up. Big news. Exactly. And that's what
I got a big spoiler for you. And then dog just pops off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so
down.
7 riders.
Yeah, she did almost blow his mind, right? Yeah, exactly. She was very close to actually destroying this kid's world. Like, you are the son of the king.
I guess let's get this prediction now. To me, Gendry, she gave him enough. Right? Like, say she dies.
Yeah, but he's so pissed off, he has no idea.
Say she dies from this. Gendry tomorrow wakes up and he's like, what the fuck was she talking about? Like, why was she talking about Robert and talking about my face? And she called me my lord.
That boy starts banging the hammer again.
You don't think he thinks about this? I think at this point he has enough information to put it together.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have at 16.
Maybe. That's fair.
Gendry's smarter than Kyle.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think he has enough.
I don't know. She gave him a lot. I think it's possible for sure.
She laid it out pretty clear.
I think if you tie everything that we know about Gendry to this point, like why Jon Arryn, why Ned Stark came in, if you could pull all that in, then you should probably have had a fucking idea already, Gendry.
Why did some random guy get me a job with this blacksmith, and then why did some random guy get me a seat to the Night's Watch when shit started going down? The Jon Arryn Ned
Why
stuff?
Why is the queen hunting me after I left King's Landing? Like that. Yeah. That should be more than I think this Brienne conversation. Which, if that's the final thing that kind of tips it over, if that's the thing that tips it over, fine. But he should have probably been on that path a while ago. Is my point.
If not, he's an idiot. If he can't put it together,
if not, he's banging the Ford, banging his hammer. So.
You would think Beric would tell him.
Does Beric know?
I don't.
Wasn't Beric around?
He was around, but the thing is, Brienne was around
sent
Renly
him off
a
to
lot.
Get the mountain.
Brienne was around Renly a lot. I'm sure Beric saw Robert a few times, but like Beric's from Dorne, the Stormlands area, right? The Dornish Marches, I think. So like, he definitely didn't see Robert all the time.
I know, but at the same time,
same with Thoros. Thoros might have seen. Yeah, Thoros actually was drinking buddies with Robert. You'd think Thoros
like
would know.
You would think these people would know Robert well enough to be like, look, son.
I mean, but again, like it's just so hard to be like, oh, okay, it's an orphan that kind of looks like Robert.
Yeah.
Oh, it must be Robert's bastard. Like,
yeah, true.
It's just like they're not taking blood samples of this whole thing.
It's a big logical leap.
Yeah, like if Thoros knows the whole backstory, like, well, I mean, Brienne's taking that.
It's kind of crazy for Brienne to take the leap of like, oh, you look like Gendry, you're from King's Landing, you must be Robert's bastard. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she was in love with Renly, I think, is why it. And I think the idea is they look very similar.
I look like Brad Martian. That doesn't mean I can play fucking hockey.
No, you don't.
Okay?
No, you don't. But you could probably get in somewhere. Probably get in somewhere you shouldn't be.
Put a hockey helmet on me and we are fucking twins.
All right, let's go.
Get him out there. Let's put him on the ice.
All right, so 7 riders come up, and Gendry's like, oh, my friends are here. Brand's like, nope, these aren't anybody's friends.
So this is the best fight scene we've had so far, for sure, right?
In all of the series? In the whole
for sure, yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I don't know if like the actual like fighting action of it, but just like the...
You don't think Jaime and Brienne in the forest was cooler?
That's for nothing. This is like, there's just like the justness of it, and like the...
Well, yeah.
The futility of it, but like for the greater good, the against all oddsness.
Yeah.
Like
I'll buy into that. I don't know if it's like the best fight, but it's maybe the most meaningful fight, I would say. She's being a true knight, right? Like I think the biggest thing is like she has no choice. She has no chance. She has no choice, right?
That's the quote.
That's the best. That's one of the best quotes probably of the whole series.
Yeah, and we brought this up in the last Brienne spoiler section, but there's a part when they're at the Quiet Isle, when they're talking with Elder Brother about all the shit that happened at Salt Pans, and Sir Quincy Cox is the lord at Salt Pans, and this is the quote from there. Sir Quincy Cox is an old man, said to Maribel so gently. His sons and good sons are away or dead. His grandsons are still boys, and he has 2 daughters. What could he have done? One against so many. He could have tried, Brienne thought. He could have died. Old or young, a true knight is sworn to protect those who are weaker than himself or die in the attempt. So to me, this is that quote is a huge setup for the quote that Jeff just said. He had 7 against 1 or whatever, no chance and no choice. And that's basically exactly like that's what a true knight does. Is we swore vows. Doesn't matter if we can win. It's our job, right? It's what we. And the thing is, what's great about Brienne is she's not even a knight, which again is the thing I love about Dunk. Right? We think Dunk's probably not a knight because
who knows,
his ears get red every time, but he still does. And that's the other thing I love about this, maybe why I have a sweet spot for it, is the 2 Dunk books we've read before is he's got like a tourney and he just ends up in a fight in the mud. And then he's got like a 1v1 trial by combat and he ends up just punching another guy in a stream, right? So the Dunk fights always just end up as a brawl. And that's kind of what happens here. Brienne does have her sword fight and wins. And then it just ends up a brawl. So that's why I love this, I guess. But yeah.
I thought there was a Gendry Dunk moment. I forget what it is now. I'm sorry.
Oh, you had a Dunk thought?
I remember reading through
this?
it. Yeah. Well, just because of you.
Aren't those the best?
Dunk stinks. Dunk's the worst. Just erase it from your mind.
You shut your mouth. You'll say that.
I forget what it was. So, but anyway, yeah. So, where do we really leave off the story? Right, the dudes show up.
I blow my load. Yeah, I got excited and jumped the gun on everything.
Let's jump in. Yeah, so they jump in.
The dudes show up.
Leader
she
pops
sees the
up
hounds. The hound's helmet. Right.
Yeah. Roll, Kyle.
I was saying these dudes show up. It's like a bunch of hurt, or not a bunch of hurt guys, but a couple of hurt guys, and she can just tell that they're kind of up to nefarious reasons. Essentially, like these aren't your friends. Like I can see by the way they kind of came out of here. One of them has the hound's helmet on, so then she's like, "Oh fuck!" Right, here we are.
Can't be good.
Game on.
Yep.
Have to protect the children.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that goes back to the Quincy, the quote I just read about Quincy Cox, where she's like, he's an old man. What was he supposed to have done? He's like, he could have tried. True knight's supposed to defend the weak and innocent. And then here she hears the children, and that's when the no chance, no choice. She knew. She stepped out into the rain, oath keeper in hand.
How about Willow coming out like a boss too?
Yeah.
Crossbow locked and loaded.
Yeah.
She should have shot it. She should have let one rip, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll say this: maybe once the fighting starts happening, maybe you lose one when no one's.
I mean, in hindsight, it would have been sweet if Willow and just like 10 kids come out all with crossbows and they just don't ask any questions and just bang, game over right there. You know what I mean?
And they all miss.
No, they all hit.
The 1v1 starts happening. All 6 10-year-olds hit. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, just game over like that. Yeah.
They're all gonna miss, and then those dudes are gonna destroy those 5-year-olds. Yeah.
There's definitely 6-year-olds out there, Kyle, that can shoot a crossbow.
I promise you that these dudes would wipe this house pretty quickly.
Nah.
Yeah, but 2 of them are getting shot with an arrow. I don't know why that's so crazy of you to think.
The thing is, you got Pod and Heil too. They're just not here right now.
I think those 2 are still gonna be able to wipe this house.
And Maribal could take an injured guy. He used to be a fighter. Fought in the War of the Nine Petty Kings. He can take an injured guy.
True.
Dog.
Yeah,
Dog's
Dog's
big.
doing something.
Yeah, we're winning this fight.
We're actually got better numbers now.
If we play in 10 times,
right.
we probably win 9, actually.
Yeah.
Just Brienne.
All right.
It just sucks that Brienne's on the front lines is the problem. Is the
Sure,
real problem. Yeah, I don't know if that's... I'm kind of joking for a lot of that. I don't know if that's true. Brienne's on the front lines is the real problem, though. Yeah, so she is dealing with this first in 1v7 at the beginning, right? There's nothing she can do right now.
Yeah, so. I do think Kyle's disrespecting the 6-year-olds. I think they got a chance. And they're not all 6-year-olds. There's some 8-year-olds. There's some 10-year-olds. Someone's shooting that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So she steps up, bang, sword out. I'm Brienne of Tarth, and Hound Head helmet recognizes her, right? And I don't know at what point we're supposed to realize that who this person was. I don't think.
Well, you
really
knew, Jeff.
There's any. I do, but I don't think for Kyle that there's any real hint until the second guy jumps into the fight.
So, Kyle, when did you know? What's interesting is I think you guessed Rorgan Biter had something to do with salt pans when we heard in the last chapter that somebody's teats got chewed off. We heard that one of the
I knew this before. Yeah.
Why did you know it was Rorg right now? Why couldn't it have been?
It just made sense to me. I don't know. Like that was just.
Okay. Well, no, that's what I'm asking. Did you know it was Rorg? I'm thinking most people.
I assumed as much, and she knew who he was, and like.
Yeah, I was thinking. I agree with you, Jeff. That I think most people probably wouldn't, but I was thinking Kyle had a shot at this one because, like, knowing it ahead of time because of what he said in the last chapter. After some of the stuff we heard about salt pans, and he's like, I wonder if maybe Rorg and Biter, like, where are they? And then I think I had even told him, like, oh yeah, Shagwell did tell Brienne that Rorg and Biter took a few brave companions to go to salt pans.
I mean, the hints were that they had raped a bunch of girls, right? And that one of them had bite marks all over their teeth, right? Like,
yes.
So.
Yeah, chewed off.
At least we knew Biter was probably there.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being massive, though.
Yeah, I don't remember these descriptions, either of them really being huge either.
She's like, this dude was twice as big as everybody else.
Arya, the only description I have of him in my notes is the gross, fat, bald one with pointed teeth and weeping sores on his cheeks, had eyes like nothing human. That's from an Arya chapter.
That was Biter, right?
Biter. Yeah. So fat, but like not mentioned as huge.
His face was mushy too.
Yeah, I mean, Brienne says that. No, I don't think anybody touched his face until this chapter, probably. So, but yeah. So how's this fight go down? Kind of cool. So at first she talks shit on Borg.
It's an easy 1v1. It's like exactly how she had planned.
Well, that's the first goal. Let's make it a 1v1. And how are we gonna do that? We got to insult him and get him to charge me. I thought that was a great plan. Yeah, and she says something like, he's like, I'm gonna rape you. That's his go-to. I'm gonna rape you. He is one of the 3 guys like Shagwell who was going to rape her when she was with Jaime. It was Shagwell, Rorg, and Zola the Fat, I think. So interesting that she's now killed 2 of them. She says to him, "Hey, Shagwell told me they cut off your dick. How are you gonna rape me? They told me you cut off your manhood when they cut off your nose." And that pisses him off, and he charges, and that's exactly what she wanted. So she gets the 1v1, and just rope and dope from there on.
Pops off. She popped off. Yeah, tired him out, just like the old Castleton, whoever told her. I don't remember the guy's name.
Sir Goodwin.
The old, you're a girl. They're gonna disrespect you. Like let them try to knock you out. Just the Rocky 3 method.
This is true. This would be true. Like even for
sure, absolutely.
If I was like fighting a girl, especially if all my friends are watching, like you just got to do it as quick as possible.
Honestly, I think it would be true for like if it wasn't Biter, like if somebody else tried to pop down, like all right, like let me handle this girl. Like it probably could have went for a couple 1v1s before Biter kind of ambushed her, right?
Yeah.
Like, she probably could have done it maybe at least another time, maybe twice before it was like, all right, fuck it, let's just.
She could have been like, which one of you pussies is next? And then maybe only one of them would have come up. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
But it didn't
But
happen,
I don't know.
so.
It's again, I think it's like Battlefront 2. It could go one way where they respect the 1v1.
Or you could get 4v1 really quick.
Yeah, real quick. You only need one person to not respect the 1v1, and then
You're fucked.
it's game over. Everyone else joins in. They're like, okay, there's no one respects a 2v1. Like if there's two, then it might as well be 3 and 4.
If you're trying to kill people anyway, like why would you respect the 1v1?
Well,
like,
in Battlefront, just because you have honor, but yeah, in real life.
Why though? Yeah.
Yeah, so they continue to fight. She has an opening finally. Bam! Sword through the gut, out the other side, and she starts just trash talking him in his face too. Sapphires, bitch.
Sapphires, she whispers. Yep.
And then boom. It didn't really make sense to me how Biter comes in, but I'm assuming just kind of flops on him.
Biter just tackles her, just decleats her.
But when she stabbed him, did she kind of like push that dead body down? Was she like, were they standing? Was she over the body?
Yeah, so it says she stepped back and let him fall. So yeah, she had a sword in him. She stepped back, and next thing, just he came
and then bam, depleted from. Yeah. Okay. So Biter depletes her. She tries like hell. Biter's big and mushy. All of her punches just land like you're in a dream, right?
Punch and pudding.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just starts like biting her, and she does have one chance, right? She got the dagger.
I think she probably killed him. It just like wasn't immediate. Like he was gonna die no matter what. It just wasn't immediate.
It's a slow death.
Yeah, exactly. Because she seems like she's like reaching down like to her crotch basically to grab her dagger on her belt, and then she can't like lift it up and start stabbing. So she just like as she pulls it up in between them, like along her belly button basically, but she just has the blade.
You think she got enough
pointed towards him? She says she feels something wet and warm sliding out on top of her. I'm guessing that's guts.
Intestines?
She's got guts.
She's
got his guts
just
coming
blood,
out on her.
though.
I just thought it was blood. I just thought
blood from the belly.
Warm and wet.
We don't got a
warm
mace
and wet
around.
gushed under fingers. Yeah.
Well, I will say he's probably, unless it's like it's just a surface wound. Like I don't know, like a lot of blood, a lot of fat. Yeah, for sure. But whatever. So he gets really mad at that. Throws her.
And there's no macers around.
All right, but again, if it's a surface cut versus guts cut, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
You could burn that shit back together.
But if she's feeling something warm and wet through whatever she's wearing,
it's blood, dude.
It's
blood
not
in her hand.
It's not a little paper cut.
It's a lot of blood, Nelson. He's dead. Fine. Do you want him to be dead? He's dead. Yeah. Put him in the frag
Brienne
count.
gets
Brienne
a kill in the
killed
frag
him.
count. Yep.
Gosh.
Well, obviously somebody else killed him, but anyway.
Yeah. She's not even the final kill.
Was it him? Was it her? Was it time? All right, so he gets really pissed off about that, breaks her face, breaks her arm, and he starts gnawing on her, which is nasty. Spits her out once, but second time he swallows her.
Yeah, Biter's mouth gaped open impossibly wide. She saw his teeth, yellow and crooked, filed to points. When they closed on the soft meat of her cheek, she hardly felt it. She could feel herself spiraling down to the dark. I cannot die yet, she told herself. There is something I still need to do. Biter's mouth tore free, full of blood and flesh. He spat, grinned, and sank his pointed teeth into her flesh again. This time he chewed and swallowed. He is eating me, she realized, but she had no strength left to fight him any longer. She felt as if she were floating above herself, watching the horror as if it were happening to some other woman, some stupid girl who thought she was a knight. It will be finished soon, she told herself. Then it will not matter if he eats me. Biter threw back his head and opened his mouth again, howling, and he stuck his tongue out at her. It was sharply pointed, dripping blood, longer than any tongue should be, sliding from his mouth, out and out and out, red and wet and glistening. It made a hideous sight, obscene. His tongue is a foot long, Brienne thought, just before the darkness took her. Why, it almost looks like a sword.
Dun, dun, dun.
End.
Gonzo.
Dope chapter.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like one of the Dondarrion dudes saved her. That's where I'm at. That's my vote from the beginning. You had said Pod, maybe Heil. It feels like one of, or Gendry. Gendry would fall into the Dondarrion dudes, but
okay. I was thinking I thought Gendry was a clear implication, I guess.
My whole point was like, what the fuck was Gendry doing? Like, All right, it was a 1v1. We respected it. We see Biter starts running
Do
in.
you think it was Gendry, Jeff? Let's start there. Do you think Gendry's the one that saved her at the end?
She's dead. What are you talking about?
You killed Biter at the end. You know what I mean?
How do we know that Biter died?
Who has a sword through his face at the end?
Yeah, it looks like a tongue.
clear.
Yeah, it seems pretty dead. Yeah, that's. I don't know how you recover from that.
I don't think it's Gendry because he didn't have a sword in hand. He had his hammer.
No, he had just stuck a sword into a bucket of water.
Yeah, but I think he rolled up with his hammer.
Oh, you're right. When he shows up to the door, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
So he didn't have his sword in hand. He had his hammer in hand. Unless he
fair.
ran back, which would maybe account for why it took so fucking long.
That's
but
true. That's true. So who you got? Pod.
I would say Pod over anybody. Pod's probably Vegas's favorite, and then Gendry. Hyle's probably last. I would say Maribald probably even picked up a sword before Hyle.
Over Hyle. So we didn't talk about it, but she does hear other fighting at one point, and she thinks, "Oh, Hyle joined the fight." Is that Hyle? If so, what an honorable cat.
I would hope so. Right? Like Willow popped out the door with a crossbow. Like this is the point. At this point is when like kids should be up in the windows firing quarrels out there. If Hyle's not, Willow popped through the door like a mad woman, like she was ready to go. Got a little scared away, which is respectable. I understand.
You're saying it's a low bar.
Absolutely.
Like me saying, "Oh, Hyle is so honorable for joining this fight." You're like, dude, the little orphans have already joined the fight. Of course, Hyle joined the fight.
What else are you gonna do? Your only other option is to run. So
that's fair. Okay. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit.
I think it was just actually the tongue was the final sword of Brienne's life.
I mean, Biter, we know. I think he has like a slit tongue or something, like cut in half, or if it's a nub or something. I think it actually might be a nub. He might have got it cut off, but
I guess it being longer than any tongue should ever be says it is probably a sword. But
yeah, I should go back and see how that Tyrion chapter at the Blackwater ended. I feel like it was very similar to that.
My guess is it's a Dondarrion crewman. I'm hoping it's Beric himself, and that's why I have faith. That's why I have faith Brienne is not alive, or not dead, rather.
Gotcha.
They got to start dying, Kyle.
I don't think they all have to die, Jeff.
Somebody
has
has
to. The book
though.
doesn't have to end because everybody's dead. Like that's not how books have to end.
Most of them.
Everyone is dead.
Most of them do.
I don't know. That's where I'm at. She doesn't seem out of the game just yet. So
respectable. All right. So Kyle thinks Brienne's got another
day. I have faith that she's still alive. Is really where I'm at. But I mean, obviously, I have no way to prove that just yet. So,
what if she's alive? What's next for her, and what's next for our boy Gendry? If we're gonna find that out,
that's the point, right? Like, I think hopefully, well, I'm arguing internally of whether or not I think Gendry is gonna give her the information she needs, because like he knows kind of where Arya went. He knows a little bit about Sansa.
He has less up to date information than Elder Brother did. He can't tell her. No, I mean, I guess he can tell her things she doesn't know about Arya's past, but nothing that really helps, right? Other than we had her for a while before the Hound did.
Yeah, but I think he knows where she went. Versus, I guess you're right. I guess she went with the Hound, or got taken with the Hound from them. It's not like she just left him and then went to where she is now. That's a good point. Good point. Yeah. So I think Brienne's next step, though, like I said, I thought it was Beric or one of Beric's dudes that saved her. So then she was going to have kind of this conversation with the Knights of the Hollow Hill and get a better understanding of kind of where to go. We've talked about this a few times where like she's aimlessly walking around. She has to gain direction somewhere. So hopefully it's here.
Or does she die?
She's also,
I don't think so.
That's the other thing is even if she doesn't die, like she's fucked up.
She's fucked up, yeah.
Like Jon burned his hand in book 1, and he's still, again, we haven't had a Jon chapter in a while, but he still flexes his hand every Jon chapter because when his fingers get stiff.
She's not that fucked up.
She's not.
I guess she is. Sorry. Well, when I said that, I was just her 2 bite marks. Her face is fucked. You know, she's got a broken orbital bone. She's got broken forearm.
I actually wrote down all her injuries to try and figure out how where she's at here. She got hit in the shoulder by the axe. Rorge's axe before we even get into the Biter fight.
Yeah, a little bit of pain. That one's not that bad.
She gets tackled. Her head. She said it hits a rock when she
probably concussed.
lands.
Yeah, she's concussed.
Biter's crushing her, pulls her hair out, starts smashing her head onto the ground over and over.
Yeah. She's concussed. She has a broken orbital bone.
He starts punching her face, she says smashing. It's hard to tell if he's punching or using something, but she says, when he smashed my face, I heard the bones crack. So bones in her face are broken, jaw bones or nose or
orbital. That's
something.
the orbital Jeff was talking about.
What's orbital? Jaw?
Eye socket.
Eye. Yeah. Okay. Then when she pulls out the dagger, he rips the dagger free and breaks her forearm, which is either one or two bones, right? There's two bones in the forearm.
Yeah.
And then he bites her cheek twice, and one of the times he eats it. So
yeah, she ain't getting that back.
But like, even if she's
I don't know
good,
how big a bite he took.
probably
either, like maybe he took just a little tiny little bit. Maybe he takes little tiny bites. No,
but probably her strong arm is broken, right? Because she
not my strong arm,
not my strong hand.
She's kind of in again. If we do see more Brienne, it would be interesting. She might be in a Jamie situation.
She's fucked up. No,
she pulled the dagger and got it broken.
Maribel knows what to do.
Yeah, so even if you put it on a cast, do they have casts in the old days? I don't know what
they're not gonna.
Yeah, they could.
They're not gonna cut her arm off.
Buy it.
That's
get some sticks and tie it together.
I'm not saying they're not gonna cut her arm off. My point is she's not gonna be able to use her strong arm for a year or something.
No, not that long.
6 weeks.
4 weeks.
Grow up.
6 weeks.
Do they have a cast like nowadays that things?
It doesn't matter.
You probably got a couple sticks,
dude. The bones will heal the way they heal. Like my collarbone wasn't reset. My collarbone's
gotcha.
like that's my collarbone. Like I know that's awful, for you guys, but like that's not straight. That's not a straight collarbone. It just heals.
Your point is it doesn't take longer. It just doesn't heal well. It fucks up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like so, her arm might be half cocked, but
if anything, she might look like the Hound now. She's missed half her face missing, unless Biter's nibbling. She said like he opened his mouth and possibly wide. So I don't know.
Each cheek.
Kyle's
maybe?
whole nibble theory, if I'm behind that one, but
then he got stabbed. So
yeah, they're all fucked up. Any other thoughts?
Move on. Get off this.
I think I fed you all my thoughts.
Jeff, any other thoughts?
No.
See Kyle in the next one for Jamie.
Definitely Jamie 7. Come on.
6. Jamie 6.
Liar.
See Kyle in the next one for Jamie 6. See that she has in the spoiler section. Bye bye.
Later, nerds.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you on the next one for Jamie 6. Now, on to the spoiler section. Jeff, what we got?
I don't really have anything hot. I feel like all the hotness kind of was brought to it.
Yeah, there's not much anymore. We're getting to the end.
I'm assuming I don't really remember, but I'm assuming that it is the Brotherhood. Dundarian's not there, but is it like Lemon Cloak and gang?
Yeah, Lem takes the Hound's helm, actually. So and they all just seem like to not be like fun anymore. They're like way more serious and like just are on like a murder spree. And again, Kat's kind of part of it. I think along those lines, as you had said, the salt and all. So on the way to this inn, they're seeing all these bodies. They have salt in their mouth. They say this is because of salt pans. Well, really, this seems like to me too many bodies to be involved with salt pans.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, and if they just happened to catch 25. Let's just say the number was 25 people. Like, oh, they raided salt pans that quickly, but like, you guys killed them that quickly too. Like that didn't add up to me.
Yeah, it seems like these guys probably like we really had like a 40 versus 40 person battle and we won, and now we have 25 bodies, or are these all like more individual accounts? We found one guy who deserted, and we found another guy who deserted, and
the bodies are pretty fucked too. Like they were.
And Kat's been hanging them. So if these bodies aren't for salt pans, what could the salt in their mouth be for? If we think Lady Stoneheart is the one behind it.
Meat pie.
I'll give you a hint. There is one more Brienne chapter in this book, and she is with the Brotherhood Without Banners. And in it, at one point, Brienne says, "We had dinner with you. Like you gave us bread and food. Like how did you attack us? Like we had guess right." And someone says, "Guess right don't mean so much as it did around here anymore." So I think the thought is the salt isn't for salt pans. It's because Kat's saying you broke guess right.
They got their guess right. They got their fake guess right.
Yeah.
Like this is what your salt gets you.
It's weird though because like Brienne goes over the sigils and like a lot of them are Northmen. So Like the Northmen didn't break guest right. The Northmen might like I could see Cat like Lady Stoneheart killing Northmen for, hey, you're a deserter. You left the army.
Or you are Team Bolton, not Team Stark.
Yeah. So I can see like that reason, but like the whole why are you putting salt in their mouth? I don't know. So yeah, I guess salt pan's as good a reason as any. But yeah, I think that'll be a good chapter. We do get Cat with Stoneheart, and then Stoneheart Brienne with Stoneheart, not Cat with Stoneheart. Brienne with Stoneheart, and just the rest of the crew we haven't seen in a while. Thoros, Lem, Jack Be Lucky, and then I think she hangs. It's the whole hang thing at the end. Like say the word sword.
It's like you're gonna get hanged, or you go get us.
She has to say I'm gonna go kill Jaime or get hanged. Basically, they accuse her of being in cahoots with the Lannisters because she has a letter from the king and she has a sword that has a lion's head and rubies on it and she's like, no, Jaime told me to do the right thing. And they're like, you don't understand how this goes around here anymore. Like, we don't ask questions. We just hang people who we don't think are doing the right thing. And they're like, either promise us you're going to go kill Jaime or we're going to hang you.
Which she'd never do.
She has to say, like, the word sword. Like, she has a noose around her neck. And they're like, just say the word sword. Or, I don't know. And it ends ambiguously with, like, Brienne shouted a word. Right. We don't know if she shouted sword or... But then we get a Jaime chapter, I think, in Dance of Dragons.
What if she just yells cat?
Maybe. I just don't think that would help.
And that rings zombie... Yeah, I have no idea.
I think Stoneheart would be like, let her hang. But what's interesting about it is I don't think we ever see Brienne again after that. But I think in a Jaime Dance of Dragons chapter, an outrider shows up and is like, a lady in the woods. Yeah. Brienne has said she knows you and you're going to come and meet her. She says you have to come alone type thing. And Jaime's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And I think that's the last we see of Jaime. So, like, Kyle thinks this is a cliffhanger. Like, the real cliffhanger is almost worse than where this is. It's Jaime and Brienne are both going to walk into Cat's hands willingly, or Brienne agreed to what Cat said and now is trying to go on the run with Jaime, or like who knows? You know what I mean? Like,
so I actually wasn't sure if this was the last chapter of this book for Brienne or if we got all that one here.
One more, I think. Yeah.
That's why when I texted you on the side, like, wow, what a cliffhanger for Kyle to. It would almost be more of a cliffhanger if we didn't get another Brienne, which I don't think he knows that there's another Brienne chapter.
Yeah.
If he does, then obviously he knows that she's alive. But
yeah, I think we played it off pretty well. I think he assumes that we think she's alive, but whether that I don't think he knows. He's never won. Way.
He wasn't going to be swayed either way, so that's why I was just kind of leaning in on the she's dead possibility. Like, he's not taking what we say seriously.
Yeah, and we talk about hypotheticals way too often that would never happen. That it's fine to talk about things like what if she's alive, and I don't think that means that he thinks she's alive. But
yeah, I don't have anything, Gendry.
Clanking Dragon.
What about it?
What about it? You don't know? I feel like you were kind of like alluding to it in the non-spoiler section.
They should have let it rust and become red.
A black dragon goes into the water and comes up on the other side red.
Oh, okay, so Fagon.
The thought is this is a Fagon reference. Fagon's going to be a real black dragon who's posing as a red dragon. I don't know if I always liked this theory. I don't know if I like this theory now. That seems like a 2 or 3 sentence part of like a 2-page section of history. I think there's more to it than that.
I think it's too little of a quote to mean that much of the story. You know what I mean? Like, okay, one mention of the Clanking Dragon is going to be what the whole premise of this character's arc is going to be. It's just a reach for me. And again, I honestly like if Fagon is just a Blackfire. If he is a Blackfire, I think that's cooler than him being Rhaegar's actual son.
I think that's the theory, is that he is a Blackfire, that he popped up in Essos on the other side of the water, and now he's being talked about as
wouldn't he have been there already? Like, the Blackfires were already over there. There wasn't any Blackfires.
Or maybe that's it. Maybe he's the Blackfire on Essos, and when he comes to Westeros, he's going to pretend to be a Targaryen.
Yeah. I don't even know if he has to pretend. I'm like, hey, I'm the closest thing you guys got. Like, right? Like,
sure,
just let me be your actual dragon now type of thing. But
yeah, I'm better than Cersei. Who cares?
He can pretend to be a Targaryen if he really wants to. I don't give a shit. Like,
I think it would help with families like Derry and stuff who just have some of that loyalty But I mean, hell, a lot of these families were Blackfire houses not that long ago, so you get loyalty from some people either way, right?
Yeah, there's always someone.
Yeah,
Someone was on your side. To be honest, I don't care for Aegon at all. Let me just say that real quick. Like it just takes away from Dany at the end of the day.
Nah, you'll like him.
I don't.
You will on a you will more on a reread.
I won't.
You've admitted that you like some of these characters like the Dorne and Iron Islands more on a reread than you did in the first time. I think he's in that category of because he's not in the show. When you get him the first time, you're like, what is this? I just want Tyrion to get to Jorah already, and he does. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just complicates it complicates everything. This book is so complicated. Like I don't see an end in sight anywhere near.
But I agree with you that in general, this feels like cherry picking to me. This feels like taking like 3 or 4 sentences out of a way bigger quote and saying that it has some huge implications. Where I don't hate it if you. Again, I was kind of joking in the non-spoiler section about I think the names mean something, but I think they mean something. And like one of my favorite theories is that the champions in the Dunk and Egg book relate to who Sansa's gonna marry. Right? There's like a Baratheon, there's a Tyrell, there's a Harding, there's a Lannister. Right? So the Baratheon's supposed to be Joffrey, then the Tyrell's like Willis, then there's the Lannister for I think there's 5. The Lannister's Tyrion.
Harding's the heir, right, of the Vale right now. Harry the heir.
Exactly. In the next Sansa chapter, in a couple chapters, we're gonna hear from Littlefinger. I plan to marry you to Harry Harding, who's the heir. So, and then the last champion is a Targaryen. So the theory is Sansa is going to be set up, whether she actually does or not. She's going to be set up in a marriage to Fagon when he shows up. So that type of theory I like, where the champions in the tourney for Dunk represent
of another book. That's
of
crazy.
Another book, just blankly. That's more of like a George theory than it is like no. It's not Bloodraven playing
that's
games.
George having. That's George just having fun with. You.
And I'm wondering if that's what this. If we have something similar with the inn, so like the old inn, the 2 crowns. Like I don't hate what you're saying with sigils. It's kind of along the same lines, but it just feels weird to name all these like inn names. It's like, what's the point? Like, there's not many things that I'm reading. I'm like, what's the point of this?
Again, I just thought it was a vessel for change. How quickly things can change over time.
I only have one other thing. I mentioned this to you a little bit off air just because I get too excited about Dunk. The next Dunk and Egg book, he comes to this inn. One of the bad guys in the next Dunk and Egg book, his name is Black Tom Heddle. Heddle, same family as Masha Heddle and
Masha Heddle.
Willow Heddle and Jane Heddle and Long John Heddle. And when Dunk's there, it's over 80 years ago, so there's a river there, and they take the ferry to White Walls. So Maribald in this chapter mentions that there used to be a river here and a ferry that took you to either Haraway's Town or White Walls. Dunk takes this ferry to White Walls, which is where the tournament is. So again, I think George was definitely working on Dunk that Dunk and Egg book at the same time as this, and he's like, here's a little connection.
Yeah, here's a little
that's what I really like. The river used to run by here. And I didn't want to say it, but like, and somebody, either you or Carl was like, really, that's it 4 times? We've only heard of this inn 4 times. Well, the 5th one, is Dunk was also at this inn.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, Editing Nelson here. I just looked a little closer, and it's not clear whether the inn that they go to is the same one that Dunk does. It actually seems like it might not be, just because Dunk's coming from Stony Steps, which is kind of the opposite direction that Brienne's coming from. That being said, the inn that Dunk goes to is very similar to this one. Has a wall outside, has turrets, so it might not be the exact same inn. Just want to clarify that now that I've looked a little bit closer at the book.
Again, the only thing I have is how the fuck did that river change a mile is wild, but
yeah, and
Dunk,
just along
Dunk
with
being here is wait. Why does so the Heddle's a bad guy? I think that's way cooler than Dunk actually being here. Heddle was a bad guy, meaning he was part of the rebellion.
Blackfire, yeah, he was supporting the Blackfires.
But that changes. That changes from their family because they just had the Clanking Dragon, which there was Blackfire, so he took it down because he didn't support them. So then this guy does support them.
That's a good point.
Big contradiction.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Black Tom definitely is on the Blackfire side of this whole. Like, he's on John the Fiddler's side, and it seems like it's not like he's being played. It seems like he's one of the main. Like, he's the one convincing the Lord of White Walls to do this. Like, the Lord of White Walls, when he basically finds out who Egg is, he's like, I didn't want anything to do with this. I got dragged in, and Black Tom Heddle's like, no, we're doing this. I don't care who Egg is. We're going forward. It's not quite like that, but Black Tom is like more determined and more all in than, you know what I mean? He's not along for the ride. So that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
Just the one more connection to that, to the next one, the Mystery Knight, is Dunk enters the tournament as a Mystery Knight because his shield got broken in the second Dunk and Egg book in his fight against Lucas Longinch. He got a new one, but he didn't get it repainted yet. So his sigil is a hanged man. So he enters the tourney.
The gallows. He's the gallow guy.
He enters the tourney as the Gallows Knight. Exactly. And in this chapter, Heil even said they should call this place the Gallows Inn. So, just again, I don't know if it's on purpose, but it's definitely on purpose. Dunks
until you iron out that theory of yours with the names of the.
I'll come back to it. We'll circle back again once we're done the books and I have time to think about the theories a little more.
No, you won't.
Well, again, I'll leave it to the fans. They can tell me something. Leave a comment. See you guys in the next one. Subscribe, like. I don't have anything else, Jeff. Nope. Bye bye. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening.